we're Acid Walls. My name's Elliot Moreau, lead guitar and vocals.
I played the drums.
What's up? I'm Don Bon Jovi. I'm the lead stooge, and I play kind of rhythm guitar.
I'm Bailey, and I play the bass, but they usually call me the Pac-Man.
Well, thank you guys for coming on.
His name's Packard.
Packard. All right. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you, Erica. Much love. She's hanging out with us, but not here. So just make sure to give her some love in the comments. But yeah, very stoked to have Acid Walls on. They were recommended to me, and I was like, listen, I'm a man of the people, so I gotta have them on. But I wanted to know, other than just checking your music out, I don't know much about your musical background or history, but how has Acid Walls started out? How'd you guys form? And, what's the origin story of the band,
Well, so Elliot and our old drummer started the band about, 5 years ago, maybe? Before COVID. And they would just kind of jam out and make music. And then when I started working with my buddy, they invited me to join the band and started creating a few originals, and then brought in a bass player, and then slowly built our way up and just kept jamming every Friday night. We just hang out and jam, and decided after a year, like, hey, let's turn this into playing shows and trying to book some shows, seeing if anybody likes it. And first year with our original band, we ran a couple shows, great times, really high energy shows, really very DIY shows. And then year two, we brought in the Pac-Man here, and we started playing bigger shows. And then after that, we were like, all right, well, we have a good 8 or 9 songs. Let's try to put out some music to the people. And started recording an album. And then finished that. Recording didn't go too well. Ooh. So our drummer left. And then we brought in the Birdman right here, Mr. Eli.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's been he's been with us for almost a year now, right?
Just about. May I? Yeah, it was pretty cool because I knew Elliot back in middle school. We would hang out all day and night, and we parted ways at high school. And I hadn't seen this dude in years and years and years. And then when they lost their drummer, I had heard that they were without one. So I was like looking around. I contacted this guy, and before you know it, they said, "Oh, we got all these songs, all these shows. We got a month." It was a month between when I met them and our first show, so we crammed in as much practice as we could to get those 11 songs down. And when we had our first show, it went pretty well. It went pretty well over at Black Barrel.
What was it?
Right?
What was our first show together? Was it?
It was Black Barrel over in. Where was that? Where was Black Barrel?
Show.
Yes. Yeah, and that was a lot of fun too. So, and then it was next and next and next too. So we've been playing ever since. The year's been really fun with these guys. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a very. I feel like the best way I can describe your music to people is like it's very eclectic. It's something I was talking about earlier with the guys that it was like something I typically, if you know the channel and what I do, this is like very outside the realm of what I typically listen to, but I am familiar with it. And I went into it with an open mind, and I was like, let me see what they're about. And I was like, this is great. This has like kind of like a little bit of like a garage, like rock sort of feel, but then like there's like a little bit of grunge in there. And then there's like some really interesting like it's like psychedelic, like odd meters type elements. And I was like, this is cool. Like I've not really delved into that sort of genre as much, but there's definitely some bands that I've listened to that have those sorts of elements. So it was cool to kind of see you guys just basically take a pot and just put it all into this pot and then just stir it around, and whatever came out was like what Acid Walls is. So I do love that. In terms of, I never like asking this question, but I felt like because your name is so interesting, how did you guys come up with the name Acid Walls? Because that to me was like interesting name. It has to have some sort of story lined up with it.
That's a good question. So originally, like when Dom over here was talking about me and our old drummer would jam together, like I was really into like there was no concept like of a band or anything, but I really wanted to make music. So I was making music kind of like by myself, like learning how to play guitar and everything. And then I recorded some songs by myself as like, and put them out as Acid Walls. And then we kind of, Dom joined, and then we started like making more songs together as a band. And then it kind of developed into, or we kind of adopted that name, you know?
What was the original name we had?
Oh,
What was it?
name?
We had first practice we ever had. We were Tegu.
I kind of like
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like you should name a song that now.
Yeah. First practice. It's not a bad idea.
You pay a
That's
little
not a bad
homage,
idea.
you know? Like that'd be
Kinda
kind of sick.
cooking up right
Don't worry, you know, I won't take your royalty money. You know, I don't want it. I just want to know that, you know, if it's in honor or something, you know, I just want to say that I was the one. You come back to this video and you're like, he said it here first, you know?
now. If we keep up this pace, our royalty will be about 87 cents.
Oh.
So we'll send a cent your way. You'll get that 2% in
Nah,
there.
it's all right. It's all right. You guys deserve it, you know? I didn't make the song, so, you know, I don't have any rights to it, but that's really interesting.
But yeah,
Go on. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for the meaning of the name, I think I kind of prescribed meaning to it like later, but I remember actually talking to my mom about this, and like because they were asking me what it means, and I was like, I don't really know, but I kind of like the idea of acid walls, meaning like tearing down the walls you have inside of yourself, like towards other people, if that makes sense. Like acid, them melting the walls. I don't know, something along those lines. You know what I mean?
I think you're cooking. You're cooking. I'm picking up what you're putting down, you know? I'm about that.
It's also a pretty cool visual too. I think at our last show, one of the bands prior to us going on were like the walls are going to be dripping once they're done, and I always kind of like that kind of visual style of like there's so much art that can coincide with a name like that we could go on forever.
You could really make it work, you know? So
Also, it's pretty trippy and psychedelic too.
yeah, listen, yeah, acid, you know, a whole nother meaning, you know. Would not like to go into depth because YouTube would not be very happy with that. So if you know what it is and you can search it up online, go do it. If not, don't do it because, you know, you have to be of age. So go do that shit. But anyway,
Yes.
At least.
Always.
at least, yeah, we respect that. So the next question I have for you guys is, like as I mentioned before, I had the chance to listen to. You have a new EP coming out. By the time this is out, it will already be out. Glass Pieces. But I also went to go check out Daffodil Syrup and Jagged Brain, which were out on Spotify. You can also go check the links. I'll leave all links in the description. Go show them some love. But I wanted to know, for people who haven't checked out Acid Walls, and this is maybe the first video they watch, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first to kind of give them an idea of what you guys do, your sound, what you're about?
Daffodil.
Well, we'll each do our favorite. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I like Daffodil because I think that was definitely one of the earlier songs we did together. I mean, that's probably our softest song, but I think it still represents like who we are and what we sound like to a degree, you know?
Glass Piece 2 was always my favorite to play. It is such a heavy song. It's such a rock soul song that even when we practice it, when we finish the last note of the song, I'll throw the sticks aside and stand up and just start shouting because I loved playing it and the energy's high and it's there and it doesn't go away after I'm done too. So that's always been my favorite one too.
I'm in agreement with Mr. Eli here. Glass Piece Part 2. It's got emotion. It's got passion. It's got energy. It's heavy hitting. To me, that represents us. We're going to punch you in the face. You're going to love it. And we're just going to, it's such a good tone. Elliot's vocals on the song, his guitar, Bailey's bass, Eli's drum fills. my rhythm. It's just such a cohesion of sound, and I think that's at least that's out right now. I think that is Acid Walls to a T.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what everyone else said. I think if you do want to get a good representation of what we feel like, it's pretty great to, if anyone has the time, to sit down and at least listen to our concert recordings that are up on YouTube.
Okay.
Our latest one is probably the best quality we've gotten in a while, just because you could definitely pick out every instrument pretty well. And I know they take a while, but there's so many songs that we don't have released yet that really they bring you through a good journey of sound and different styles and tones. And I think if people do have the time to get through a concert, they would really enjoy it. Personally, I think that a lot of our songs are best when they're like the super fast riffs, and when we're live, we get to play a little bit faster. So stuff like Shrapnel really sticks out, or Smokeless Future. Yeah, a lot of that stuff there might be bits of it on SoundCloud, but there's lots to enjoy.
Just a tangent in terms off of what he was saying. We just got a new GoPro, so now we have some sick drum footy and from now on we'll have some sweet drum footage of this guy playing.
Yes.
Love it.
Limelight.
Love to see
Love
it.
it.
I think for me, I did listen through the entire Glass Pieces EP and then also listen to stuff on Spotify. Because listen, yeah, if there's anything to know about me, is your boy is dedicated. So I wanted to try to do my best to listen to everything. And the first two songs, Daffodil Syrup and Jagged Brain, were the ones I wanted to jump into first, since those are the ones that are out. And I was like, okay, this is definitely different from what I would listen to. But I was like, let me give it some listens, because these songs are decently long. I mean, I'm used to having songs that are like around like the 3 to 4 minute mark. This is like pushing like 5, maybe 6 minutes. And I was like, how are they gonna try to keep my interest for like a 6 minute song, right? And by the end of it, I was like, oh man, it's over already? That's crazy, you know? So I think you guys do a great job of really retaining people, because there's a lot of interesting stuff, like especially later on, like once you get into like past the 3 minute timeline, where you're like, okay, this is really interesting, and it almost like kind of sucks you back in a little bit more. But I feel like bands that I would assume you're kind of influenced by, I feel like I would go without saying you have to be influenced by like Red Hot Chili Peppers to some degree, because I could definitely tell, especially maybe more with Elliot's voice, I could kind of hear like some comparable voice like tonalities that I was like, am I listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers? I had to look at my like computer. I was like, that's kind of crazy. Some other
You know what's
bands.
really fun? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say some other bands. I feel like a Nirvana. Like I think you definitely have some sort of like grunge elements. And I guess to keep it more current, I always butcher this band name, but like King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I don't know if I said it correctly.
Oh,
If I
sweet,
did.
love them, yeah.
They're great, and I feel like you guys definitely take elements from them as well. That's probably like the only like more psychedelic type like oddity sort of band. No offense, that was not meant offensively, but just like definitely like very obscure
no.
type music. And I feel like those three bands collectively were the ones that I was like, those are the ones that I'm like four fans of. Like if I was to kind of put you guys in more of a category, I guess, if that makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
That's cool to hear. That's actually really funny that you say that, because in terms of the Chili Peppers, the only other person I've heard say that is my stepdad. He said he thought I sounded like Anthony Kiedis, and I was like, I didn't see it, but now that you say it, maybe it's a trend.
He definitely does.
You hear Fall Out Boy at all in his voice, or
No, I do not. No, I have to be honest. Listen, I'm a huge Patrick Stump fan. I don't. I mean, I would love to give him the concession of saying that, but it's not true.
Yeah.
No offense, Elliot.
I've
Who said he
I've
sounds
always
like
heard
Fall Out
a lot
Boy,
of
though?
Ozzy influence. This guy wishes.
Yeah. I totally think in his harmonies, he sounds, especially building up, I think he's got that same kind of vocal cadence and a little
Okay.
bit of the tone. Like I hear it.
A little bit, but I definitely feel like
you know,
Red Hot
we're-
Chili Peppers, though, for sure. There's no way. I think that's pretty unmistakable.
We have a song we're working on called "Under the Sun," and the bass line on that song is pretty complex, and it's one that I really enjoy rhythmically and melodically too. And of course, I'd say that's pretty Flea of him, huh? Huh? No, I love that kind of stuff too.
Are we Red Hot Junior?
You might
Yeah,
be
we're
Red
just
Hot
Red
Junior.
Hot Junior now.
You're Chili Junior.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's great. Hey, listen, we'll all get chili together, you know, after this.
I like it.
All right.
Red
Uh,
Hot.
But
Massive
yeah,
West Philly.
and I also really I think the coolest thing about the EP, like I got to listen to it from front to back as well, and I wanted to point it out since it is going to be out when this comes out. It was very interesting to kind of go from song to song and like really listen to it in more of a like sit down, try to like really focus in on a lot of different like musical elements and stuff. And I kind of came out of it because I only listened through to it once, but I wanted to go instinctually. Like the second time that I got through it, I was like, I need to go listen to this again and try to piecemeal different elements of what you guys do. And I think that's kind of to me is like, if anybody who's checked this out, I don't think you will get it all in one go around. I think it's one that you're gonna have to go in and you'll listen to different things and you'll be like, I like this part, and then next time you listen to it, you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't even think about this part. This part's really cool too. Wasn't even paying attention. So I think it kind of reveals itself as like the song as the songs kind of as you give more listens to it, as you like give more time to it. Was that kind of the thought process with the EP, or were you just trying to like just go into it just throwing everything metaphorically at the wall and trying to see what sticks?
Well, it's interesting you say that because coming in from not having written any of the songs with these guys and coming in and learning it, much like a listener, I was seeing the songs develop throughout the course of learning it too. So I was the same way. I would hear this part and I'd just try to get down the fundamentals, and then you give it a couple more practices and I'm like, oh man, the whole song sounds different to me now. And who knows what it is? It's probably just my, understanding and listening of different facets of each song too, which is really interesting too.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So like for Glass Piece Part 2, I can definitely see what you're saying. Because that one, it's not so much like opposite of almost like Daffodil Syrup, Glass Piece, where there's like a verse and a chorus and everything. And it's very like the structure is kind of standard songwriting.
Mhm.
I feel like Glass Piece Part 2 is sort of in three pieces. Like you begin with the beginning section, like there's a middle section, and then the finishing section or the solo. And they're all kind of different. Which is like kind of how we've been making songs recently. Like he was talking about Under the Sun was a new one we were working on where it's similar. It's like three different stanzas almost to like one song. And I kind of like that. Like I love the good old verse chorus standard songwriting,
Yeah.
but like they're like chapters.
Yeah, a lot of it's. I think there's definitely so much inconsistency from practice to practice, but we always end up pumping out a really good, polished final take for our recordings. That is a good reflection of all the jams that we have. And since Eli had joined, a lot of this stuff has changed. I feel like anybody can agree when you change the drummer of a band, like it's going to change how each song is operating entirely. Sure. Even if they try to play the exact same thing, there's just so much feel going on that each song does adopt a whole new, slightly different feel. The lyrics have stayed almost exactly the same the whole time and all the melodies, but I know like when we did get Eli almost a year ago, I did adjust so many of the things I was doing on the bass that probably did to him, especially every time he would come in, I would also have new stuff too, slightly different things. You know, how many triplets am I doing? Am I doing more chugging or just letting stuff ring out? And by the end of last year, I feel like we've really just gotten together this whole great set list that is feeling pretty consistent. And now that everybody knows exactly how everything is starting to go, we're able to play each song really well and feel like everybody is fitting exactly where they need to be. And now we do actually have the room at like a lot of the ends of songs to kind of experiment and still jam a bit or extend some of the guitar solos, add another guitar solo when we play live. That really just keeps it so fun for us. Even though we don't have a massive catalog of songs, we usually do have enough to just keep every night so fun for us, whether we're practicing or playing live. It's a
Yeah,
blast.
I will say I think inherently your type of music is more of a like live experience. Like that was immediately from the jump. I was like, I'll get this by listening to it like on Spotify or whatever. But I think there's just something special about the way that you guys write that I immediately thought this is going to sound way different live, or it might sound the same, but just because the elements of live music is totally different than a recording, I think it's going to lend itself to have a little bit more nuance or a little bit more like vibe sections that maybe didn't stick out to me when I listened to the song like recorded, but will maybe hit a little bit more because I'm seeing it live. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like this part was not what I was expecting, but like I know it because I'm familiar with it, but it has such a different energy to it. Do you guys kind of try to, especially live, like bring out a lot more of that energy or like energy to the songs because you know in that live setting it's gonna pop off different than like on a recording?
So usually during our live shows, I mean, we've all been over the issue plenty of times. Everything gets a little bit faster because we all got the juice. You know, for us, at least for me, it's like I'm going into a football game.
You're
This
just
is
like
my
pumped.
30 minutes right here to show the world. Yeah, I'm going to show the world what we got and leave it all out there. So usually everything's a little faster. And that, you know, that brings a whole nother element into the song when you're just playing it that little bit quicker. And I mean, for me, I like to get real passionate on stage. I like to jump around. I like to at least 2 to 3 times a show, I'll run off into the crowd and go jam with them, try to get in a mosh pit if there's one going. But really, for me, it's
He's an absolute maniac. Go on.
usually for me, if I don't end the show pretty much dead tired, then it wasn't a good show. And, you know, I want everyone to feel the energy that I feel because to me, these songs are, you know, it's something we all created, but I feel it in my soul. I just love it. I love the feeling of playing this music. And I want everyone to vibe out the same way I'm vibing out when we're playing this music.
There are times, every time actually, Dom's super, like whenever somebody is talking to me about the band, I will always say he's an absolute madman. He runs out with the goggles on, writhing on the floor, jumping off the drums, off any pot. If you have a spot that's up high, he will be on top of it and he will be jumping off of it. And then Elliot will also be like contorted and flying around the stage. And it's just the most fun sight that you can have while watching people play. It's so much fun.
Elliot does this thing. You wouldn't believe it, but this guy can get almost below parallel to the ground leaning back. He leans back so far. It's impressive his spine hasn't shattered. But this guy at live shows, his head can almost touch the ground with how far he's leaning back. It's really incredible. And the whole time, he's absolutely shredding.
He does his like crazy move. Yeah. And that's not easy. Cannot be easy.
Contortionist over here. We love to see it. That's yeah. I think that further surmise that you guys are a band that I have to see in a live setting, you know. So make your way over to Philadelphia, you know. We'll have to see what's good.
Yeah. We're trying to book a tour this summer, so hopefully we can catch a venue out there, make our way out there. It'd be fun. I'm ready to get to Philly. I need to get me a couple cheesesteaks in me, so
Let's go.
I'm ready to get to Philly.
We'll get a cheesesteak together. Well, I got you guys. I got you.
I love that.
I'll hold you to that.
Listen. I'll never pass up an opportunity to have a cheesesteak. You know, I'll feel like shit after, but I will. You know, I'll be good. You know.
Oh,
What's the go-to cheesesteak place for you out there?
Oh God. Funnily enough, I had this. Someone asked me this probably last week when I did another interview. Somebody was like, "Where's the spot? Like, where do you go?" And I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm like, now I'm gonna have to like be on the spot, and it's gonna be held to me forever. Um, there's there's a spot off South Street called, and it is the weirdest name. So if you don't get it right, I'll leave it in the description. But it's called Ishkabibble, and it's a spot that I go to all the time.
Ishkabibble.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's probably like Yiddish or like some sort of like, odd name, which is fine. But it's across from this venue in Philadelphia called it's called Theater of Living Arts, but everyone that's in the area just calls it TLA because it's easier. So it's literally across the street from TLA. So if you go to TLA, go there. It's great. So I'd probably say that's my favorite. There's another spot in Fishtown. It's called Joe's. So if you play like the Fillmore Foundry, which is like one of the like mid low tier to like also Fillmore's like one of the probably one of the biggest venues in Philly. Joe's is like down. It's like a mile, like a couple blocks away. So I would definitely recommend if you're a touring band, go to Joe's because that's also great. I will preface: do not go to Pat's and Gino's. Do not. The people always. If you're a tourist, you go to Pat's and Gino's, and that's fine. Go on ahead, do your thing. But if you don't show up to a Pat's and Gino's, that's even better because I don't think they're it personally. That I understand people are diehard for that shit, but it's not it.
Not number one to you. All right, Elliot, we need TLA. Let's get looking for emails. Let's book this shit.
There we go. I'd love to see it.
TLA.
TLA, a cheesesteak. Well, that'll be a great night.
I think I'd look pretty good on stage, all fat and bloated. We're
Oh,
making
no,
it.
you
We'll
don't-
try to make it happen.
You do
this
not
summer.
want to eat it before the show. I'll preface this to bands. Do not, if you get a cheesesteak in Philly, do not eat it before the show. You will immediately regret it. I can guarantee you that shit will stick in your stomach like a cement brick. Not worth it. Unless you would like to throw up on stage, which I'd imagine most people would not want to do that, then don't do it. If you want to do it, hey, listen, you can be a masochist. That's fine. Whatever. You do your shit.
We could start to get real Gigi Allen with it.
Please don't. I don't want to. I don't want to be responsible for this. I don't want people to come to this video and be like, "Well, he told him to throw up on stage, and they did it." So
It was all Brandon's idea.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for this idea. I just want to be responsible for recommending good cheesesteak spots. So if you have a good one and you also live in Philly, let us know in the comments. I can't guarantee we'll check them out, but I will check them out because I live around the area. So, but the next question I have for you guys is: who are you listening to more currently? What's on the Spotify? What have you guys been jamming to recently?
I guess I'll start. I listen a lot to do you know Dinosaur Jr.?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So Dino Jr. is definitely in my top 3 bands. There's one live album he has called Live in the Middle East I would recommend anyone listen to. It's probably my favorite live album of anything of all time. Jay Mascis is really awesome. I love his guitar playing and songwriting. I like this band Krungbin. They're like a psychedelic funk kind of band. I don't know if their influences transfer, but I love them. And then this might be kind of weird to say, but I was watching the Grammys in that one. I really fell in love with that one Billie Eilish song, "What Was I Made For?"
Okay.
or whatever. I've been listening to that one. That one's really, I really like that one. I've never really listened to her stuff before, but I really like that one.
Well, I love a lot of drum oriented stuff. I listen to a lot of math rock as the genre. Lots of duos, specifically Giraffes, Giraffes,
Oh
exclamation point
yeah.
is my all-time favorite math rock group. They're fantastic. The drummer Kenny Topham is an absolute legend too. He's always in the forefront, and this guy who plays the guitar behind him like will just tap all day and loop his taps, and it's a spectacle to see how they keep it all together for like a 10-minute song that is cohesive and doesn't fall apart on itself too, which should kind of be easy to happen with a genre like that, where it's just weird and the time signatures are strange and everything's kind of bizarre, and makes it pretty easy to hold my attention. That's for sure. How about you, Dami?
I've been on a big Saint and Sonia kick lately. I got the
Ah.
shirt on. I mean, they're just I'm into that kind of rock. So I've been blasting their new album, and I just think their music is what I'm looking for when it comes to new music. Because to me, there's not a lot of new rock bands that I hear that I'm really like jumping into and diving into. Like a lot of the guys we play with, I'll listen to, because to me, it's like, oh, I don't really hear a lot of new good music on the radio, especially in Connecticut. We don't really have a new rock station, so whatever I can find is good. And I love their lead singer, Adam. He was the old 3 Days Grace singer, so I've been huge on their music. And then big Tool fan too, and
Ooh.
big Travis Scott fan. So I've been playing a lot of Travis Scott lately. That Utopia should have won the Grammy. I'm pretty pissed about that still, but
That's
he
fair.
is he's in a whole nother league compared to everybody else.
I think these guys do a bit more exploring than me, because my Spotify is pretty stuck in the '60s. But
Nice.
the new Black Pumas album was pretty interesting to hear. Just a lot of older sounds being like brought back in really new ways. That's called Chronicles of a Diamond. And then the new Chili Pepper stuff was pretty great too. That's got a good feel to it at times. Sometimes I'm trying to see if I can enjoy more new stuff, but I seem to just always catch stuff about 5 years after it comes out. So right now I feel like I'm pretty into the Foo Fighters, but there's lots of stuff that I'm always listening to. It's hard for me to find stuff I don't like.
Sure.
I forgot one song I wanted to add. I just had to look it up here, but it's John Coltrane, "A Love Supreme Part 3." I actually had to send it to this guy. It's like the best drumming I've ever heard in my life. It's so amazing. So everyone definitely listen to that too.
Coltrane keeps a good crew with him.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a I mean, that's a classic for a reason, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like how varied you guys are. I think that's kind of speaks to the type of music you guys create. So it would totally make sense that everyone would have a different perspective. So love that. The next question I have for you guys is on a similar wavelength. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
All right. I've been saying "Killing in the Name of" by Rage Against the Machine lately, so I'm interested in that one.
Let's go.
I'm the guy who usually suggests covers because I love playing covers. I
this is your
definitely lead the
question
forefront
then.
covers in the band, and yeah, I think we need something newer in there. Like I would love it to cover like a Weekend song or like something that's different that nobody's done yet. We wanted to do a Kid Cudi cover.
Ooh.
I thought Erase Me would be pretty sweet with an actual rock band playing it. And I mean, I could rap a little bit, not really, but you know, on a
try.
karaoke mic after a couple of bevies, I can. So,
Hey, there you go.
but I would definitely say more newer stuff, something newer, something nobody's done that'll cut through more.
No, I gotta agree with that.
Okay.
What do we see? We saw Sober Bill did Poker Face. I'll
Yeah.
never forget that one. A punk Poker Face by Lady Gaga was awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know.
What's your favorite cover we play?
No, that is a good one. So we did we don't usually do covers, but a couple months ago, towards the end of 2023, we did like a 3-hour set at like a brewery. So we did like Reverie Brewery, and we mostly did covers. So that was like a good exercise for us. But definitely what was that? Was the Alice in Chains?
We had a great knocking on Heaven's Door.
Yeah, Nutshell. We got like super
Ooh.
like psychedelic and jammy with that one, and that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like doing covers like a jukebox. I'd rather do it like how we do it and kind of mess it up and like put our own spin on it
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
got to. You got to keep it fresh, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me think. I'm trying to
Covers
think
are
of
all
what
fun to
I
play.
would lay you guys with.
Mhm.
If it's any Bon Jovi, I'm in.
Oh, Dom's good with the Bon Jovi. He does the 12-string
Bon Jovi,
guitar.
I'm in. So whatever.
This dude literally has a Bon Jovi tattoo. Can we see it?
Oh my god.
It's my guy.
That's our main man.
That's a I think you might be actually New Jerseyan. You know, I'm a former New Jerseyan, so I feel like I can say that, you know. Man, I'm trying to think of
I feel it down here. Maybe a little bit.
I feel like it would be interesting to hear your guys' take on like a top 40 song. I think that would be interesting. Like if you could put like an acid wall spin on it, like so, especially songs that are like a little bit more in that like what I've noticed a lot recently is like that 80s sound. Like a lot of bands are doing that like 80s style stuff. So maybe like I don't know. I'm a huge Dua Lipa fan, so I feel like Dua Lipa would be really interesting. I think you guys could do something really odd and like psychedelic with that because it would just fit because she kind of, you know, obviously is influenced by the 80s sound. So I feel like that would be kind of interesting. That would be my take. I feel like that would be fun.
I like that.
The two newest covers we've done is we did Circles by Post Malone and really made that jammy. That was a fun one we played, and then we played Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen.
Oh,
And that one was fun. I love me some country, so that was a fun one to play.
I can't get down with the country, but I respect that's what you vibe with, you know. I'm sure you really put your heart and soul into it, you know.
You don't like songs about truck? You don't like songs about trucks and beer and women?
I can't say I do.
Women, beer, and trucks, and the river.
Yeah,
I forgot about the river.
The river, yeah. Got to talk about your trucks. That's the most important thing. Or like farm equipment. That's another one. To be fair, the only country I only feel like country hits me is when I bought like a pair of overalls, and I was like, whenever I put the overalls on them, like, man, I feel a little extra. You know, my words start to draw a little bit more, and I'm like, yeah.
Start saying y'all out of nowhere. You're just
yeah.
like, howdy, y'all. Wait, what the?
Yeah. I mean, I say y'all sometimes anyway, and I'm not even from the South, and they're like, what's wrong with you? You know, you should not be saying that.
Did the overalls come with a little, just a one blade of grass?
I think it should. It should. You know, it does not. Unfortunately, you know, I'd have to pay extra for that. I think. You know, but all right, guys. Well, the next question is another big one. If you guys could pick somebody to collaborate with on an up and coming Acid Walls track, who would you love to work with? The first part of this question is one that is, you know, a little more feasible if you like know someone on the local scene that you're like, I really love what they do and I would love to work with them. That's the first answer. And then the second answer is, if you know anything about audio addiction, we believe in manifestation. So we're putting the dream out there on the line for the homies. So if you could manifest your dream guest, then we're also putting that on the list. So two answers.
Yeah. Well, locally, we got our brothers Sober Bill, who is a fantastic like punk rock band that that is really incredible. Their drummer is so good that every time I see them play, I have to, stop and say hello to him and say, "Oh my God, what are you using? Because I want to use that too. And whatever you're doing, show me how to do that." And so I would love to be able to play with those guys for all time being. We see each other often enough too, so it's always nice to see them and get to play with them. The top tier A-list. Oh boy, I'd love to play with. There's a band Jank that is a really good, kind of like. It's kind of a math rock band, but really more of a regular rock orientation to that too. That I've always been a really big fan of, and they're super talented. So I'd probably go with that.
I would say on the local scene, we have this other band that we're really good friends with, Soft Spot.
Ooh, okay.
I'd love to do a song with them. Their lead singer and guitar, they're a 3-piece, but their lead singer and guitarist Gianni, like I really love his melodic sense and like the way he sings and his voice and stuff like that. And I like the way they write songs. Yeah, he really is. And cool guys too. In terms of like anybody, can I give 2?
I'll give you the pass. You can give 2.
Okay. Thank
Feeling
you.
nice today.
So one would definitely be one would definitely be Jay Mascis of Dinosaur Jr. just because, like I said, I love his songwriting and like he's like a legend. And the second one would be this girl Lao Fei, I think you pronounce
Lloyd
it.
Bay, yeah.
Laufey. Yeah, I
She's
love
great.
her music, and I'd love to do like I played Fallout as a kid, so I always loved big band stuff. So I'd love to do like a big band song or something like that, or like a jazz tune. But yeah,
I would just want, if I had to collaborate with anybody and have them join us on a song, it'd be Adam Gontier of Saint Sonia, just because he's got that good 2000s grungy voice. And I feel like if we had someone with it, I try to bring the heaviness in the vocals to the group, but I'm not really that good. So if we had someone who's got that known voice out there, people know his music, they know that deep grungy tone in his voice. I think if he hopped on one of our songs, or Sully Erna of Godsmack, that would be pretty sweet. Just having some real good grungy in our songs, like that would be pretty sweet. Oh, and a local guy? Oh man. Ooh, I should have been here and not been peeing. I like Mambo from Sober Bill. I think Mambo from Sober Bill really brings this just fun kind of punky vibe, and it'd be fun to kind of jump into that wave for a little bit and see how we sounded doing a more of a punk song or something like that.
I don't think I have much of an answer, I guess. Yeah, there's I don't know. I think we're kind of desperate. Seems like we're always just happy to be playing with anybody.
Sure, I respect this.
But something that we don't take enough time to experiment with, that we did see a little bit at that bigger Reverie show, was like some acoustic playing. And I know most of the time we're not in the acoustic sound space at all.
Sure.
But when I get to sit down with like a 12-string guitar, it's so fun, and getting to hear other people play with it at sort of like a lower volume, let the singing shine a little bit more. I think something like that could be pretty fun. But as I think we went over before, there's just such a small scene here. It's not like there's musicians everywhere. If you just want to find a violin player, like that's going to be tough. But there are people out there. I think it's probably my problem that I'm not finding them.
I feel like it's also like collabing.
Who's your A-list?
Big guy.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
Who's your A-list musician that would join us?
Who's famous?
Who do you listen to? Who would you put in there?
They're all dead. They're all dead.
It'd be Kurt Cobain. It would be Kurt Cobain. Yeah.
If I could play bass with Kurt, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be Kurt Cobain. There you go.
No, probably something like a Pixies or something. They're around, right? They're alive. Probably the Pixies. That'd
I'm
be
gonna
sick.
look just to double check, but I'm pretty sure.
They're alive.
I don't know.
We need confirmation.
We'll get confirmation. Yes. They're still around. Shouts to the Pixies.
All
You're
right.
good.
they
You're
are,
in the
good.
clear. You're in the clear.
It must be playing.
A tour.
All right. Due to Pac-Man's wishes, we will try to get a song with the Pixies very soon.
There you go. Yeah, we gotta fast track it.
They know Acid Walls, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. They have to.
Speaking of, one time, George Clinton of Funkadelic did comment on one of our videos, so that's pretty much fame right there.
Big shout out.
You knew I was having some celebrities on here. That's crazy.
Now we play that cover all the time.
There you go. Well, guys, if you want to help out Acid Walls, which you shouldn't have to because they're just a mega hit band already, you're just hearing about them now, but don't worry, they're a big band. If you'd love to tag all of these bands on Instagram, first of all, if you're not following them on Instagram, go do that first because that's the first thing you have to do. And then second, you tag Acid Walls and you tag all of these great bands and then you type the word collab ? And then you just send it, full send, you send it on your social media and, that's what you got to do. That's like,
yeah.
so if it's on the internet, listen, it's probably real. I don't think anyone's going to argue that, So just do it.
I think Miley Cyrus went to prom with a kid with that method.
That's what I'm
With
saying.
enough-
See?
with
There you
enough
go.
Hashtags.
We got it. I'm going to be seeing you guys in stadiums next, So, I'm glad we could get it started right here, right
Dream.
now.
And we'll shout out Joe's Cheesesteaks.
No, we're not going to Joe's.
No, we are going to Joe's. We're going to Joe's.
Joe's. We're not going
We're going to
Joe's.
ATL. Geno's.
Yeah.
We're going to ATL. ALT.
Wait.
ALT. Yeah,
TL.
it's across. It's right
all right.
across from it.
It's all right. We'll fix it in post, guys.
PLA.
Oh my god! Everyone's gonna be like, I could just imagine you guys play TLA and you're like, thanks ATL for having us tonight, and everyone's gonna be like, boo, get on the fucking stage.
Oh no.
Shout out to the Migos.
Man, this took a turn. This is great. I love it. The next question I have for you guys is my personal favorite. I don't know if, as you can tell, I'm a huge nerd, so I love asking this question. If you guys could be a video game character, who would you be?
I
don't even need to answer.
I play so much DayZ that I basically already am a DayZ guy. Just any of the character models, any of the maps, I'm there. You can consider
You
it
are
done.
the map in D.
I'm just the map itself. Yeah.
Any video game character, I'm looking to be Eli Manning in Madden 10. I will slice and dice any defense. I don't care. Eli Manning, Madden 10, it's a wrap. We would have 4 Super Bowls with me running the helm as Eli.
I respect that.
Definitely the Vault Dweller from Fallout 3 or New Vegas. That was like my game when I was a kid. I absolutely loved Fallout and Fallout 4 too. It looks so fun, just like traveling all over the wasteland, just like shooting bugs and I don't know, collecting things, crafting things.
Great soundtrack in that game.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
I do have the nickname of the Pac-Man. I've had that for a while since
Could be Pac-Man.
since grade school. I think I would like to eat stuff all day. I kind of do that anyway, but and we all know what the power-ups are. But I gotta love the Uncharted games. Nathan Drake has a pretty sick life. Getting to trounce around the world, climbing temples, and
You
shooting
would be
people.
short on life on that with that choice, I don't think.
That's for sure.
Yeah. He's got superpowers of some sort that I think I would feel. He just doesn't express them in the game all the time.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah. He's just
No.
superhuman. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're hanging off like a cargo thing and you're like in the middle of the air, I mean, I don't know. The adrenaline might be coursing, but I feel like you also got something else flowing through that body to keep you on there.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. Let us know your best theories in the comments. I would love to
But
know.
Why is Nathan Drake so strong?
A lot of people think I'm basically Thor, though, and he's been in some games. So
I was gonna
Being
say,
Thor,
you're giving off Thor energy.
Marvel
yeah.
games. He's definitely in there, and getting to be Thor would be pretty sick, and fly around and shoot lightning.
That would be sick.
That's what it feels like to be on stage if you
Exactly.
haven't been there. It's pretty sick.
You're basically Thor.
Master of electricity.
You can't forget the OG Master Chief too,
Oh,
of course.
yeah.
Everyone wants to be Master
The
Chief.
goat.
Everyone wants to be Master Chief. I just want one of those plasma swords. They look so cool.
Those would be sick. I feel like it would be really sick to just have one in your like room just hanging up. I'll just put it like right here. Just have it be like, all right, intruder comes in, just energy sword them, done. Cooked.
Energy sword, yeah.
Test me,
On that same topic, this is my house we're all in. I actually have a full medieval sword in my room in case anybody ever breaks in. That is my weapon of choice if anyone ever breaks in here and wants to test. Like, oh no, it's a dual hand sword. It's massive. It's like 5 feet long. If anyone ever tries to break in, that is the weapon of choice. So.
Dom feels like a Dark Souls boss. He's like, I'm ready to take on the intruder. Just with a
Plus
fucking,
poison
like,
resistance.
yeah.
Come in and test it for the
Yeah,
throne.
the fucking energy bar shows up and it's just like Dom, and it's just got like a.
Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. Somebody should make that. If you can make that, send that to me and I'll throw it in the video. Be amazing.
Oh yeah. What about you, man?
Oh, well, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so I feel like a Pokemon trainer is my go-to. I've always been a big Pokemon fan, so I feel like that's easy dub for me. But I will say Master Chief is a very close second. I mean, come on. The guy is like a fucking
Oh yeah.
a maniac,
Oh yeah. What's your favorite Game Boy version of Pokemon?
Oh, so I'm going to be 31 in like a couple weeks, but my favorite is, of course,
Happy birthday.
Gold and Silver. Thank you. Gold, Silver, Crystal is my favorite.
Oh,
gen.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Gen 2, but I don't know. I like everything up till like Gen 4, Gen 5 is like where I kind of like. Gen 5 is where things kind of like started to slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, I still bought them. I still played them. I still play them now. But I would say Gen 2 is like, Gen 2's the one,
Oh, absolutely. I remember I had an original Pokemon Yellow, like the big cartridge, but unfortunately my dog chewed it up when I was like 5 and I lost it. I remember crying for like 2 days.
What's your take on Pal World? Is that a yay or a nay?
I'll be
You're familiar.
honest.
Yeah,
I
seen
am
that?
familiar. I am familiar with Pal World. Yeah, I've seen it. Funnily enough, my two of my roommates, they're both invested in Pal World and they're playing it all the time, which like I respect. I get it. I don't have time to play Pal World because I do this shit. So if I had more time, I probably would play Pal World because I don't like it is what it is. Like who wouldn't want like Pokemon-esque characters with guns? I mean, I feel like that's kind of like sick.
Right.
It's kind of tight.
Pokemon with guns.
But
That's
I don't have bad will against it. It's like, hey, it's a good game. Like from what I know, I'm not a hater. I still love Pokemon. I'm still gonna buy Pokemon stuff because that's my childhood. But yeah, I don't have any negative things. I know some people are like, I can't believe you guys. You should like this game because you shouldn't. Because
yeah.
you have to love Nintendo, whatever they do. And I'm like, nah. I mean, there's,
Yeah.
you know, you can like that game and still like Pokemon. I feel, that's not a hotly debated topic.
Absolutely. Brandon, did you ever have as a kid one of those? It was like a plush Pikachu, but it was like electric, so it made like the noises and stuff like that.
I got something then.
Oh no!
Oh,
No way,
are you talking about this guy here?
dude! Dude.
It's the one that like
That's
like if
awesome.
you press on it, I took the batteries out of it. So, but yeah,
Yes.
this is it. It moves the ears. This is my one from
Dude.
like my childhood. This is their actual one. So that's funny.
Dude, that's awesome. I had one of those as a kid, but left it out in the rain, so it stopped working.
No, oh
That's
my god,
awesome.
this thing
know.
is the I know we're getting on a video game rant here, but Optimal Pikachu is Chunk Pikachu. If you don't think that's true, fuck off.
Yes.
Respectfully, like this. If he does not look like he is severely obese, then that's not it. It's not my Pikachu,
Yeah.
So there you go. If you haven't seen Chunk Pikachu,
Were you ever into Yu-Gi-Oh
learn
as a
up.
kid?
I wasn't into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, but I did get into it recently. I watched like a year or two ago. I watched like the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." Like
nice.
I'm a Pokemon stan through and through, but I have to give credit to Yu-Gi-Oh because they really dig. Like if I was a kid and I was really into like edgy shit, then I'd be like, "This is it. This is the jam." You know what I mean? Like, and I can't help but think about it. But every time, like, anytime I do like a really dumb Italian, like New Jersey Italian accent, I just can't help but think of Joey Wheeler every time I'm like doing it because he is like whoever the voice actor who did Joey Wheeler just was like, you know what? He doesn't look like New Jersey Italian, but I'm going to give him New Jersey Italian. You know what I mean? Like if you look at his character, you're like, there's no way. But then he opens his mouth and you're like, bro, what? He does not talk like any of the other characters.
That's amazing.
So I got to give a shout out to whoever does his voice acting. It is absolutely like the worst and best thing about Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, I do like it. I feel like I feel like people can kind of hotly debate like, oh, I love Digimon, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh, I loved all this stuff. And like that's great. Everybody's in their own camp, but I don't know. I feel like I don't hate any of them, which like people would be like, "Oh, you like Pokemon, so you must hate like Digimon, you must hate Yu-Gi-Oh." I'm like, "Nah, it's all good. It's all good shit, So,
yeah, there's enough room in the cartoon world for all of them.
Listen, yeah, I'll take it. I love watching it,
Yeah.
but good vibes, but
That was my childhood, bro.
hey, listen, I respect that. That's all. It was also my childhood as well. So, But the next question I have for you guys is, if you were to compile a dream tour lineup including Acid Walls, who would be on this lineup?
All right. Oh, it would be giraffes. It would also be let's see, Loose Lips Sink Ships is another one of my favorites
Ooh.
too.
Okay.
Oh, also a band Piglet too. These are all super talented, incredible musicians that I would only dream of being able to share a tour bus with, let alone a stage.
For me, I'm having Shinedown open us up, get the night going. Good band to get the crowd juiced.
Great local band.
Then I'll probably have us in the middle spot, just to be there. We'll be the local band. We're playing MSG if we're talking. So I mean, we don't need. We're the local band playing MSG. And then, to end the night, I'd need somebody with some juice. I'm a big Bon Jovi guy. I mean, I'd love to play with them, but it's two different crowds. So I would say Avenged Sevenfold would be pretty sweet. I feel like that'd be a good crowd for us, and I would love to be on the same lineup as those guys. No, I want original Bon Jovi. We don't need Phil X in there. Phil X is great. We don't. I'm gonna. Yeah, we want Richie Sambora in there, the King of Swing.
Hell yeah,
we need him in there.
Let's go.
I think if I had a lineup, it would definitely be Us, Dinosaur Jr., and I know he's not alive anymore, but Prince. I think that would be cool. That would be cool.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I think if we could have someone like Iron Maiden would be sick with a lot of our stuff. Maybe they could be a nice open. And then maybe to wrap up, like Pink Floyd would be sick. I saw Brit Floyd and they did a good job. But their shows are sick. Yeah, that like fitting the band. I think that might kind of fit the band the best. In the middle of that.
That'd be wild. Can I get a ticket now for this?
Yeah, that's a $3,000 ticket right there.
That is.
We got you either in a suite or in the front row for free, whichever one you prefer.
Bro.
But we'll get you in there when it happens.
That'd be crazy.
With a cheesesteak.
Oh, even better. Love it. This is my dream night, honestly. That'd be crazy. Just me up front, just housing a cheesesteak. I'm just like, yeah, keep going, guys. It's sick. Yeah.
I'd hope they'd have a camera on you all night so the rest of the crowd could see that. Hey, I'm front row and I got a delicious cheesesteak, and you guys don't.
I'm actually just a part, like I'm on the screen in the back of the stage, just housing the cheesesteak, like mid set.
It's actually just a real close up of your mouth.
That'd be
as you're eating
sick.
this
That'd
cheesesteak.
be That would totally not make me self conscious whatsoever. You know. And now it's turning into a nightmare. I feel like that would be my worst nightmare, is just having like a fixated camera, Pink Floyd's playing, and I'm like just like you can just see my mouth just devouring this sheet. No,
That'd be the best live version of Comfortably Numb I think you could imagine.
if you just oh my god, if somebody and I could only imagine like someone being like high as fuck and they see that and they're just like I'm fucked for the rest of my life. There's no way I'm coming back from this. You know, like
Now picture that, but it's at the Vegas Sphere, and that's the show right there.
oh no,
World's
that's
largest
that's
cheesesteak
even
eating
worse.
video.
Oh no. Okay, I need to move on because I'm gonna have nightmares now tonight when I think about this shit. Next question, guys. If you guys were trapped on a desert island for the next month, and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would that be?
Giraffes, more skin with milk mouth. All of their albums sound like that, by the way.
It's a great choice. I haven't heard that album name in forever.
Tons of Giraffes. I'm gonna go with I thought about this a lot. The Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue.
Ooh.
I think that's 73 or something. That's one with Mr. Blue Sky on it. Definitely not my favorite track on it, I gotta say. I'm not really sure why it's the most popular thing, but I think there's just so many styles going on and so many like things that just have become like total cliches in music nowadays, like that were just being done for the first time there, and you hear it all sort of come from like one man's vision and ideas. I think they were able to like write a lot of the stuff like up on a mountain somewhere where there's tons of crazy weather, and you can just hear so many cool elements come out through the album. And at any given point during it, there's really not that many instruments playing, but it always just sounds huge. And because of the variety of instruments, it does take you through such a massive journey. And it's kind of similar to like the Beatles' White Album in that way, where there's just like a lot of different genres going on. So it makes for a good desert island album for sure. Is that what we called it?
Yeah.
I'm bringing Astroworld by Travis Scott with me. I mean, that's got a little bit of something for every mood I got. Something to keep me going, keep the energy up while I'm building a fort or something or whatever we got to build on the island, or something slow as I'm chilling on the beach watching the sunset. Nice slow fucking groove, some Astro Thunder, some Skeletons, something to keep the vibes up. I think that'd be the best choice for me.
I think I'd bring an audiobook on how to get rescued from a desert island. No,
I'm kidding.
but seriously, in this album, this album by Frank Sinatra called "In the Wee Small Hours." It's one of my favorite albums by him for sure.
Oh, I'd like to add one too. I also like to say BB King live at Ole Miss has the best version of The Thrill Is Gone that I could listen to. Only that song. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be that song that I'd bring on the desert island, and I'd be happy with that.
That would be crazy.
Like
Guys, are got some good islands. You know, we'll have to visit. You know.
yeah, it sounds like a nice island.
What about you? What are you going for if you're trapped on the island? What's your one album you're bringing?
Ooh, that's tough. All right, let me see if I can nail this down. It's a month, so I feel like that's a little easier. Hmm. What am I listening to currently that I'm really vibing with? I'm gonna look at my Spotify real fast.
The Acid Walls EP.
Yeah, the glass pieces.
Acid Walls
Yeah,
be with me.
the acid walls will be with me. I will say.
Free promo.
I'll say first. My first choice is Acid Walls Glass Pieces EP. If you haven't checked that out, crazy, great record. A one from front to back. You gotta listen to. If I had to choose a second choice, there's this like pop R&B artist that I'm listening to. His name is Keshi, and his album Gabriel, I mean, is the album that I've been just spinning a ton, and is like one of my favorite records. So I would have to say him right now is the one. I've listened to it for a month straight, so I feel like I've tried and true. I've tested it. It's got some like pump. It's got some like really energetic songs. It's got some songs you can be sad to. It's got some vibey songs. You know, it's got it all. So I feel like I would go through the 5 stages of grief. You know.
Yeah, for me, I feel like that's something you need. Some album that's gonna have every mood for you. So when you're up, you got something to listen to. When you're down, you got something to listen to.
Yeah. And then I feel like I would then by the 30th day, I'd be like, get me off this fucking island. I need to leave. I don't want to be on this island anymore, you know? And then, so I feel like that'd be it. But great choices. Love those answers. The last question I have for you guys is my favorite question. I always round this out with all of my interviews. If you have not checked out Acid Walls, they'll be telling you where they can find you in just a moment. But wanted to know, guys, why you do this, why you're passionate about making music, because I think music or like musicians we're a funny bunch, you know. We're very dedicated, and obviously we take the time to really hone in on our craft and stuff. So I wanted to know what makes you passionate and what makes you want to continue to do it and put music out, you know.
For me, there's nothing. I've seen Bon Jovi 8 times. There's nothing that gives me more goosebumps than when the whole stadium is singing "Living on a Prayer," and it's like, I don't care about the money, I don't care about the fame or whatever. If I could play a stadium and have them sing our songs back to us, the whole stadium, I don't think there's a better feeling than that. And I want to reach that goal. I mean, just playing for, we've played for 4 people, we've played for 140 people, and there's no better feeling than when you finish a song and that crowd goes nuts. And it's like, all right, maybe all this time and effort we're putting in, like, this is worth it. This is what it's all about. And just that, there's no better feeling in the world than playing on stage. No drug, no endorphin, no nothing will get you to that high of playing on stage and seeing people go nuts to your music.
Yeah, he's right. It's definitely a natural high getting out there, getting moving, being out there, getting in the world, and also experiencing it with your friends too is another good way to really put the power behind you and really make it enjoy getting out there, doing that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I would do it without these guys. It's just the passion in friendship and being able to come together and be able to make a really good song that you yourself enjoy is really something special too.
That's a great answer, Eli. I think for me, it's definitely the feeling of expression, being able to express yourself on an instrument musically, like expressing something you feel inside that you can't really articulate in words. And especially live, like you're like sort of on the edge of chaos, and like things come out that you didn't expect or are beyond your skill level or whatever. And just like, that's so exciting to me. Like, you can create things in the moment that you never would anywhere else,
I I feel like I've grown pretty attached to the idea of doing all of this to keep a good element of like the humanity in the human side of music. We get the chance to play with some people who are often not really playing with a lot of actually people. That there's nice we'll have backing tracks or something, and it's pretty enjoyable. But getting to be in a band that is just four people, pretty focused on producing really good sounds with instruments that have such good human, feel for them, is pretty amazing. And it feels like that's something that I always do enjoy the most in music is like how real is it feeling and sounding. So being able to keep that alive feels amazing, and I think it's important to be a part of that in the world when not everybody's really getting the chance to, or even being shown the chance that that's something that they could be interested in, but then people find it and they end up liking it a lot, even if it's at a pretty later age like I did.
No, yeah, I love that. I feel like you guys all gave a really good answer, and obviously, like as someone who has seen live music for God, I don't even know how long now. At this point, I've lost track, but it to me is like I think I'll go back to a statement I made earlier. Is like your music just feels like the type of music that I would want to experience more so than just to like listen to it. I mean, obviously, listening to it is a part of experiencing it, but I think that you guys inherently, especially even though I'm not nearly as familiar with the genre, it was like something I first like couple seconds of the song, I immediately knew. I was like, these guys have like a live energy that I'm like, it's there, I can feel it, but it's not something that I've experienced yet. And so I feel like to me, I would love to be able to see you guys live perform it. And I think then that's when it's like, not to say it's like disconnected in any way, but then I feel like for me, I'll be like, I get it now. You know, I get Acid Walls, like it makes more sense and it's going to click more. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to enjoy these songs that much more because I've experienced it live, you know?
I would definitely recommend if you can if you have any free time. We're Acid Walls. By the time this comes out, we'll have 2 shows lined up. Check our Instagram, check our Facebook, check our YouTube. We might post on YouTube every now and then, TikTok. But we got 2 shows in March, one in Worcester, Massachusetts, another one at the Crunch House in West Haven. So if you like what you hear on Spotify, come out and see the vibes. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, also, our release show is going to be at Bleachers next Friday in Bristol. It's going to be afterwards. But for those of you, it already happened. It was fantastic. We played College Street Music Hall already. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
So, thanks for that.
Well, you guys can go find out about Acid Walls. Oh, go ahead, Dom. I don't know.
I can cut it again if you want. Ladies and gentlemen, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us in any of these spots, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your streaming music. Please go stream the music because we want to not work our regular jobs anymore and we just like to do this for a living. But we're passionate about what we're making and we want you to hear it and be passionate about it too. Thank you.
There we go. Wow. I don't think I could have sent. I don't think I could have full sent it. This man should be doing like public speaking or some shit. Jesus Christ. I feel like
you should see our shows.
I feel like I'm on like a 10. I'm like, you know, I feel like I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to go lift some shit. You know what I mean? So I should just get Dom. I should just get Dom to message me every day, like his most inspirational speech. He just sends it to me on Instagram. He's like, "All right, you wake up every day and you do this shit."
I wake up with that look in your eye that you're ready to take anything down, and you conquer the day.
I feel like Dom is just some. I feel like Dom is like. I feel like he's a wrestler. Like I feel like he gives main character wrestler energy.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Tell him all about it,
dude. Literally, this man has a Randy Savage, or what is it? Randy Macho Man Savage costume that he pulls out from time to time. And we actually recorded a promo recently where we lit it on fire, so we might have to retire it.
Oh
but
no!
Who's to say he doesn't buy another one soon?
He's gonna buy another one. Yeah,
he is a wrestler at heart.
One week ago, I jumped through a table on fire for a promo that's on our Instagram. It should be out by the time this video's out. So
Jesus Christ, this is great.
I love the promo game.
I'm gonna
boss.
share the.
I love it.
I'm gonna share.
I'm jumping in here, Brandon. Did you have a
It's
chance
well worth
to
it.
check out their Instagram page?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
They're nuts. It is nuts.
It's well worth it to sit through and just scroll and scroll and scroll and just watch this wacky shit. It's so much. It's so much fun.
It's
It's
great.
even more fun making it too.
Well, listen, if you guys would like to see the wacky shit that Acid Walls does, you can check the links in the description. Go follow them on Instagram. Go follow them on TikTok. I didn't even know they had a TikTok, but I'm going to go follow that now. I've already followed them on Spotify. They have a new EP out called Glass Pieces. You also can check the link. Go stream it on whatever streaming platform you're on. Go show them some love. If you enjoyed this interview, share it, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. It helps out your boy. So if you could help me out, that'd be amazing. I'll also drop their YouTube link as well. So go subscribe to them as well. Huge shout outs to Erica. I feel like every time I do this, she is not in the chat, but she's here. So, I can say thank you very much to Erica. And hugest thanks to Acid Walls for coming on and chatting with us tonight.
Hey, happy to be here.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not listening to the audio addiction, then there's something wrong with you. So get streaming it, listening to it, watching it right now, please, because this guy is an awesome interviewer and he's a great dude. So give it a listen.
Crazy.
The whole chant. And he can
does
reference a good
Make great
cheesesteak.
cheesesteak references.
All right, guys, you have run the gauntlet.